Welcome to Seize the Mains by Raj Malhotra's IS Academy. I'm Surbhi Sardana and this is Season 3 of our Daily Answer Writing Initiative. This initiative is running in coordination with our website, which is rajisacademy.com. In the mains answer writing section, as you can see here, the daily mains answer writing challenge appears. Our Seize the Mains initiative, where we discuss one question and one model answer for UPSC mains examination every day. It gets updated here. The model answer can be thoroughly read by you. It can be studied by you after visiting the website if you go to the mains answer writing section. Not just this, we understand that a lot of you aspirants, you struggle with proper evaluation or proper feedback on your answers because you do not know which way you are headed. Yes, you take that first stride of writing the answer, but you definitely sometimes do not understand that whether you are taking the right approach or the other one. So not just this video interaction, we also have this comment section for you, exclusively built on our website for you to be able to practice. Share your answers in the comment section under each question, and you can share your answers as pictures or type your answers, and our team will evaluate your answers in the next 48 hours and they will respond back to you in the comment section itself. So join this initiative, stay connected. This initiative is definitely going to help you immensely in your mains preparation. You will see a lot of growth, a lot of insights would be gained by you. The topic for today that we are discussing is fourth branch institutions and Election Commission of India. One of the advocates recently wrote an article for the Hindu newspaper. We've linked that article on our website so as to give credits to him. So it was about fourth branch institutions and how these fourth branch institutions, like the Election Commission of India, they should remain independent from executive because ultimately they have to provide for the rights of the people and ensure democracy. So yes, a question has been framed with regards to that article in the Hindu. Let's see what it is. In sorting out the method by which the Election Commission of India is constituted, the guiding principle must be functional and effective independence from the executive government. So in sorting out the method by which the Election Commission of India is constituted, that means there is a problem that is that the Supreme Court is trying to sort out, that how the Election Commission of India should be constituted. So in sorting out the method by which Election Commission of India is constituted, the guiding principle must be functional and effective independence from the executive. Means now when Supreme Court delivers its judgment with regards to the recent case in January 2023 about functioning and constitution of Election Commission of India, it says that the guiding principle should be its independence from the executive. Comment on this. Now that advocate, he has written the article in the Hindu newspaper, he has sent it. Now what are your views on it? You are a part of this democracy, you are a part of this country. What do you think that how Election Commission should be appointed, and should it remain independent from the executive or not? And just take a stand, write down your own viewpoint. Comment answers are just about your own viewpoints, and you do not have to give birth to something yourself. Whatever is going on in the news, whatever is being whatever appears in the newspaper articles or magazines, questions with regards to only those things would be put up in the papers, and you don't have to worry about anything that something might appear that you've not read about. Also, you've not to write viewpoints exactly of your own. You have to write about intellectual viewpoints which you have been reading, which have been recommended by various committees and commissions, and that would be your viewpoint for this comment answer. So let's move ahead. First of all, if you're trying to establish independence of Election Commission of India, talk about what are its powers and why is independence from executive necessary. Create a case for that. Also, since this is a polity based answer, polity se answer hai, GS2 paper ka question hai. Also, always use constitutional provisions. Mention the articles of the constitution which ECI or Election Commission of India is related to, and definitely talk about that in your answer. So starting with the introduction, the Election Commission of India is an autonomous constitutional authority that administers elections to Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislative assemblies in India, and the offices of President and Vice President of the country. So you do not have to define Election Commission of India. Everybody knows what is ECI. You are talking about exact purpose. These are the areas where they ask you or confuse you in prelims. They ask you questions around these areas if they have to ask you about Election Commission of India. So make the purpose very clear. This must be studied by you for your prelims preparation as well. So make the purpose clear. In the second line, write about the articles. Write about the constitutional provisions with regards to appointment of Election Commission of India. So it is Article 324 to 329. So not just the existence or constitution of Election Commission, its powers, how it's appointed, everything is covered in Articles 324 to 329. That's why we are writing a range of articles, not just one particular article. It deals with powers, function, tenure, eligibility, etc. of the commission. As of now, article mention kar diya, you mentioned the article, talk about how ECI or members of ECI are appointed, because appointment is where the constitution, question today is based upon. Independence in appointments of election commissioners. That is where your question lies. So talk about what is the basis of appointment right now, and what is the tenure. What is the tenure? How are they appointed? For how long can they stay appointed there? As of now, the president appoints CSE and election commissioners. They have a fixed tenure of 6 years or up to the age of 65, whichever is earlier. They can resign anytime or can also be removed before the expiry of their term through a process removal similar to that of a Supreme Court judge by Parliament. Now here you've created the case that Constitution gives you a detailed knowledge about how ECI, members of ECI have to be appointed and what will be their tenure. So on the face of it, it appears to be a very independent body. But hold on and see what lies further. Recently, I think around November 23, it has been pointed by Supreme Court that Chief Election Commissioners' terms have fallen from over 8 years in 1950s to less than 300 days since 2004. So in 1950s, your CECs, Chief Election Commissioners, used to stay appointed for 8 years or even more. And we've seen a lot of electoral reforms. We've seen a lot of election commissioners who have made tremendous changes to the democratic setup of our country, how elections are being conducted in the country. So yes, 1950s it was more than 8 years, and now it has come down to just a few months or less than 300 days. Now the tenure has come to less than 300 days. So what is it? Why is it happening? Obviously there is an age limit. Age limit is always there, but why is the executive keen on appointing everybody as CEC or election commissioners if they are moving towards their retirement age? And why are not they elected or appointed at an earlier age so that they can stay there for a long tenure? So that these are the questions that come up, and this timeline or this data tells us that yes, there are some flaws, even despite of the fact that independence or independent working in constitution that has been ensured, but still there are some flaws. So this raises questions of independence of election commission. This has definitely raised some questions. ECI upholds values enshrined in the constitution called equality, equity, impartiality, independence, rule of law, etc., etc., and hence its own independence, especially from executive, is essential for the functioning of democracy. Now here successfully you've presented your case. You've talked about powers of ECI, you've talked about the constitutional provisions, how independence of ECI is ensured. You've talked about this contrasting data which is coming from none other than the Supreme Court, and now you're again reiterating that why independence from executive is necessary, because it is essential for the healthy functioning of the democracy. Now we'll expand on this. In a body paragraph 3, we'll talk a little bit more about it. And again, in the article itself, it was mentioned that South African Constitutional Court noted in one of its landmark judgments that true and functional independence is effectively impossible if the power to appoint rests entirely within a single individual, office or entity. Here we are talking about the executive. So here, yes, you can give examples of other Supreme Courts of other countries or national courts of other countries. So yes, this can serve as an argument to strengthen your case that you have created in the first 2 paragraphs. Hence, if the complete executive control over appointments to the ECI is constitutional, that comes into question. The complete executive control, that is questionable here because of the first line or a fact that South African Supreme Court has given us. Now we'll expand a bit more on this new viewpoints. A body like ECI needs to be functionally independent from the political executive. This is because it is the vehicle for implementing rights of people, in which executive should have absolutely no control in implementing the rights of people, or the electoral rights of people to be precise. Not just this, the ECI also regulates the conduct of political parties. It assigns them symbols. It takes care of how they conduct elections, or the moral code of conduct, that is also ensured by ECI. And the members of these political parties, they go ahead and they form the government. So in a way, at the ground level, ECI is the one controlling them, controlling these leaders, and in the long run, it will be these leaders who will be deciding who becomes the CSE or any election commissioner of India. So these parties, members of these parties, they go ahead to form the government and form part of the executive later, which actually decides the fate of ECI. So hence, independence of ECI from executive is necessary to avoid any kind of bias, effective implementation of moral code of conduct, and above all, to ensure free and fair elections in the country. See, a lot of times in the past it has been seen that the moral code of conduct is not followed because the leaders are very strong. The leaders are already in power, and when they go out in conducting their rallies, the moral code of conduct is not followed, and the ECI or any other vigilance institution, they cannot take a very strong stand because they know that this party is about to come in power for the next term also, and the appointment at ECI, that depends entirely on these people who are political leaders right now on ground, but they are also part of executive and will be part of the executive next year as well. So that is where the problem lies. So yes, extensive government control over important bodies, including control over appointments. Now we are moving towards the conclusion paragraph. So we are talking about the implications of what happens when executive and when independence from executive is not ensured in case of ECI. So it can cause them to become largely toothless and ineffective. It is now commonly accepted that healthy constitutional democracies need what are known as fourth branch institutions. Again, this was in news, fourth branch institutions, or alternatively they are known as integrity institutions. You already have executive, legislature and judiciary as three branches of democracy. The fourth branch that has been contended here is this fourth branch institution or integrity institutions, in addition to legislature, executive and judiciary. Many of the basic rights and guarantees that we enjoy cannot be effective without an infrastructure of implementation. That is, here you're creating a argument for fourth branch institutions. Why do we need this? And India already has fourth branch institutions. Your CAG is one of them, ECI is another one of them. But the point is, the loophole lies in the way people in CAG and ECI, they are appointed. So that is where the although Indian constitution already provides for these institutions like ECI, CAG, etc., integrity can only be ensured when there is independence in the appointment of election commissioners, especially from the executive. Proper independence from the executive, that is required. Hence, this could be the next step for India as well to strengthen the democratic setup. Now, you have commented, you have given your viewpoint in this answer. You have told that yes, independence from executive is necessary. You've talked about, you've quoted many quotes also. You've given data of Supreme Court. You've talked about Supreme Court of South Africa, and you have totally justified the case. You took a stand. You can as well take a stand against the argument also, or in favor of the argument. But since always try to take a stand which in the way the winds are actually flowing. So if you feel that Supreme Court has been contending it from time to time that independence from executive is necessary for ECI, and you see that the tilt of the government is also about ensuring the independence for ECI, then definitely write a viewpoint that is in favor of that. Do not try to take a very strong stand against something just to appear different on the answer sheet. That might go against you. And even if you're taking a stand against against the direction in which the winds are blowing, definitely use very formal language. Do not get emotional. Do not use any emotional examples. Definitely use very formal language, and always substantiate and back up your viewpoints, your answers with a lot of data, with a lot of reports, with a lot of formal statements from constitutional bodies like the Supreme Court of India. Not the constitutional bodies like Supreme Court, but the branch, the judiciary as the branch, and Supreme Court of India as the Yes. So in the conclusion, what we can write is you have created a case that yes, independence from executive is necessary. Now the question lies in what will be that method which we will employ to appoint Election Commission of India. So that is the challenge. So an ideal manner of appointment to preserve the independence of ECI and fairness of election needs to be designed taking into consideration the vision and wisdom of our constitution. Also put some commas and write judiciary, executive and legislature all taken together, and intellectuals for that matter. Your additions can be any and they can be enormous here. So that's your full answer for the day. I'll see you with another discussion tomorrow in Seize the Mains again at 9 p.m. The answer has been uploaded on our website, that is rajisacademy.com. Click on the link in the description. It will take you to the website. Go to mains answer writing section and look for question 147. Read out this entire answer. Even if you're not about to write an answer to this, at least it will help you generating your own viewpoint. Read out the Hindu article also that has been linked on the website. It will help you understand that what is the what is the conversation going in the country as a whole, and how can you write good answer for mains. How can you change the flow of an editorial into your favor. How can you play with the language and then write a good answer. So definitely visit the website, read out the whole answer. Stay tuned to our channel, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. This is the right time. We wish you all the best for your journey. Keep working hard and hope to see you successful soon.